It seems like in recent times, there's been a lot of people that have been declaring university to be a scam. From some of the wealthiest people to billionaires of the world saying that or claiming that university is a scam and it's not worth it, to people trying to sell their courses and trying to sell their courses by first declaring that university is a scam. But is university really worthless? Have you ever sat to consider what the real purpose of university is? In this video, we are going to take a deep dive into the purpose of university, why university matters, and why some people may leave university feeling disappointed in their degrees and may not feel like they got their money's worth. We'll also talk about what I think should be your mindset when entering university and how you should approach it. You are better able to maximize your returns after you go to university and prepare yourself for the job market. Now, before we go into the main purpose of this video, I just want to talk a bit about some of the people who claim that university is a scam and that university is just a piece of paper. What I've come to realize is that a lot of those people are people who themselves are trying to sell their own courses. A common example of this is within the tech industry, where you'd find someone who is selling a bootcamp or an online course or some JavaScript or React course. And in doing that, they will first tell you that university is useless. You don't have to go to university. Actually, you need to buy my course or buy my course instead, trying to convince you that you can actually get a job from my course and you might not need to get to university. They might not be lying in some of the facts that they will be presenting within their arguments, but you should always look deeper into their intention of them telling you that university is a scam or is worthless. Because in doing so, they're trying to sell you a course. And so their intentions might not be as pure. And so you should always take what they're saying with a very small grain of salt. The first thing I would now want to get into is what is the mindset you should get into when you're trying to decide what degree to take and about to go to university. So let me explain this by giving you an analogy. Imagine I gave you $20,000 and I told you that with this $20,000, you can only spend it on online courses. So something like Udemy or Coursera or any other online course platform that you can use. I then also tell you that during the next 2 years, I will be covering your rent and expenses while you are taking these online courses. The question to ask is, how will you decide which courses to take given these circumstances? Your decision here is going to depend on your end goal for after you've taken these courses. One person might say that their end goal is to be employed using the knowledge that they would have gained in taking these online courses. Someone might just say, I simply want to explore my interests. I actually don't care if I get a job or not from these online courses. And another person might say, I want to gain the knowledge that I require for me to start a business within a specific trade or within a specific industry, and so I'll take these courses as a way to educate myself about that industry and also educate myself about how I can start a business. Now, this is in no way an exhaustive list, but how you make the decision of which courses to take is going to be a very objective decision given the outcome that you've chosen. As an example, if your chosen outcome is that you want to get a job as a result of taking these online courses, then you would first do your due diligence to make sure that whatever direction you decide to take has jobs within the area that you live in or has some ability for you to work remotely within that area. With this thinking, what you probably won't do is to just pick an interest and hope that there is some type of employment at the end of that interest. What you'd at least do is look at your interest and look at the one that closely gets you to your desired goal, which is get employed. And if none of your interests have any employment in them, you'd most probably just take the best course you can that will guarantee that can get you a job. The same applies if you decide to start a business with the courses that you would have taken. You'd probably look at the courses and then proceed to look at the domains that have the greatest possibility of you succeeding in doing a business within that domain. The point I'm trying to make here is that the market will decide, or at least use the market to decide the courses that you'd want to take, and at the very least try and fit it within your interests. University at the end of the day is a collection of courses administered in some format. Yes, at the end of it there is a degree, there is a paper, there is graduation, but at the end of the day It is just a collection of courses that give you some knowledge within some domain. Simply just picking a random degree does not guarantee anything in terms of like the goals that you're trying to explore. Even if your goals are to just explore your interests, you really have to dig deep into your industry and the domain you want to choose and see if there is any employment or if there's any business prospects within that industry. This is not a random thing that you just wake up and, pick a degree at random, or pick a degree based on what you've been told, or pick a degree based on what you think your interests are, and then hope that at the end of it there will be employment. And that's why I think a lot of people at the end of their degrees are disappointed, because they think that their degree is supposed to get them something. At the end of the day, if a topic exists, a university will find a degree for it. When Bitcoin was on the rise and crypto and all that stuff was on the rise, there were already degrees on Bitcoin and crypto. There was no evidence that there are jobs in Bitcoin or crypto. Maybe there was, but even now there are degrees on Bitcoin and crypto. Right now there's a lot of stuff on AI and generative AI, and I can guarantee you right now a lot of universities are already trying to craft some degrees in generative AI. And what I'm trying to say is the existence of a degree at a university does not guarantee that that degree will give you any benefit in terms of employment, in terms of starting a business, or in terms of that topic interesting you. If you've been to university before, you should realize that university is a very big investment. It is 3 to 4 years of your life, sometimes 5, 6, or 7 of the most productive years of your life, where you're spending a lot of money in paying tuition, housing, living expenses. Even if you're on a scholarship, that money is still relevant, and you might not get the chance to get that amount of money with that amount of time ever again into your life. And I really do think that more thought should be put into which degree or which domain you choose to explore, because at least the way I think about it, that is a very big investment. I mean, 4 years, 5 years, with depending on which country you went to university, some of these degrees, they cost a lot of money, and you can't just leave that to chance. You can't just randomly pick a degree, then spend 4 to 5 years studying some random topics and expect that that's going to give you a return on investment. Now, if you just want to explore your interest, then you can click away from this video. That's okay. That's another thing. But I would like to assume that a lot of people, they get into university with either the end goal of being employed or starting a business. And what I'm trying to say is, given that you've constrained your end goals, there is then the right and the wrong degree for the goal that you've decided to take. And there's a lot of other things that start getting into it, because now it's more like within the country you're in, which industries are booming within the country, within the region you're in. What does the market look like for this and that domain or this and that degree? And you should start looking into that before you start getting into your degree. Now, having said all this, here's some advice that I can give you if you're trying to decide what degree to take. Now, first of all, I'm not any educational expert, and this is just my opinion. You can take it with a grain of salt, but this is just what I think. Instead of just looking at the interests you have and trying to make a decision on what to study based on your interests, you'd want to, I think as a first step, look at your interests and then look at the market that you're in and see if there are any opportunities within your market for those given interests. And I'm pretty sure your interests wouldn't be just one particular thing to say, I want to do mechanical engineering, or I want to do this particular type of accounting, or this particular type of law, or something like that. I would rather say, take your interests as a broad set of things and say, I like engineering in general. And so from there, you can start choosing between electrical engineering, mechanical engineering, civil engineering, or I like commercials in general. Instead of saying, I want to do this particular thing called, I don't know, such and such accounting, I really think at the point at which you're trying to decide what to study, you might not even have the full detail of what it means to study that thing and what it means to work within that industry. And so your interests are going to change once you start doing that degree, or even once you start working within that industry. And it's okay to not constrain your interests to one particular thing, but to make them like a broad set of things. If you're already within your degree and you're starting to second guess, and you're starting to realize that there might not be a lot of opportunities within this field, what I would say is stop focusing on the degree and what the degree is going to give you, and start looking at the skills you're getting from that degree and how those skills can be further enhanced and then applied within the market. Because at the end of the day, the market rewards skills. The degree is just confirmation of some particular set of skills. And so if you are starting to feel like your degree isn't going to give you your desired results, there is still time. You can, on your free time, start developing other skills, maybe within that industry or even outside of that industry, that can also help you to get employed or to start a business or to reach the goals that you want to reach within that industry or within that direction. And just stop having the mindset that the degree itself is what's supposed to give you a job. Just to give you an example, I can speak on this because I'm a software engineer, right? If you're doing computer science itself, the degree computer science is just a degree, but the skills associated with computer science are coding, maybe project management, maybe, to be more specific, maybe front-end development, back-end development, database engineering, and stuff like that. So if, let's say, I was doing a computer science degree and I was starting to realize that the degree itself isn't going to get me anything, I would start looking at these skills within the industry and start working on improving these skills and applying myself in such a way that I can be skilled in one or more of these skill sets that are going to be required by the industry. Because when the industry is now looking for people, they might say you must have a degree in this, because that degree is a confirmation of the skills that you have, or at least a close approximation of the skills that you have. But they will be more detailed and say you need to know Java, you need to know databases, you need to know this, you need to know that. And so I could, at that point, start working on those skills. So yeah, that's my advice to you guys. If you like this video, I'm sure you will like some other videos that I'm going to post in the future. I know this is just like my third video, but please subscribe, give it a like, give me a comment if you've done your degree and you're happy with your degree or disappointed with your degree. Share with us your experience within the comments. If you're in the middle of a degree or trying to decide, just share your experience and we can chat and connect within the comments. Thank you so much, and bye.